What's going on, guys? It's Wafers, and welcome back to the Newport County Road to Glory Career Mode. It's episode 22, and today we are going to be taking on Arsenal in the second leg of the Carabao Cup semi-final, looking to go to our first final in this series. Looking at the league table, we have a commanding lead on the rest of the league. We're 11 points ahead of Barnsley, over 20 points ahead of Hull City, and we have a game in hand. Now, for the first game, we are going against Arsenal. We are hosting them at the Rodney Parade in the snow. As you can see here, the semi-final, we're trying to get a spot against either Newcastle or Brighton in the final. We have a 3-2 lead on aggregate, so we are in control of the tie coming into it. But Arsenal are obviously going to be coming forward, trying to score as many goals as possible. They're playing a much tougher lineup this time. The first time we played them, they were playing more backups. Now they're playing more first-team players. So it's going to be a tough match. And getting into this one, in the 22nd minute, we would come forward. Hopkins down this right-hand side. We're looking for some space, just playing it around in the middle. Marsh is going to find Sheehan and just working it back across the box here. Telford is going to go back to Bennett, who finds some space in the corner of the box. He's going to play through Sheehan, and Sheehan puts it in the back of the net, and we would go up 1-0 in the 26th minute, 4-2 on aggregate, and we extend our lead on Arsenal. But they would come back still in the first half in the 35th minute. They're going to come forward. Oscar here has a couple little dragbacks to get some space on the edge of the box. They're going to play it around now, and eventually it would end up working its way to Pepe, who whiffs the first shot and then puts the second one in the net. He whiffed the first one completely, just completely missed the ball, but Haynes couldn't get a foot in, and he knocks the second one into the net. Now, about 20 minutes after the restart, we would come forward on the left side this time. Haynes bursting down the left. He's going to stop. Looks to get it inside again. Looking for some space. He ends up finding Marsh. Marsh is going to play it to Bennett, who works it back out to this left-hand side, just looking for some space to get the ball into the box. And eventually Marsh would find Sheehan, who finds Telford. A nice little touch there. He ends up turning his body with the touch, and he finishes that past Runarsson to put us up 2-1 on the night and 5-3 on aggregate. So we restore our 2-goal advantage on aggregate. But Arsenal were not done 3 minutes before the end of the match, and they would come forward. Gerrard here creating a little bit, trying to find some space. He finds Xhaka, and then Xhaka would finish that one. We would end up winning, though. We would hold on. And as you can see, we win on aggregate 5-4, and we are going to be facing either Newcastle or Brighton in the final. Right now, Newcastle has the lead. We'll have to see how that one plays out and who we end up playing against, but really incredible that we were able to beat Arsenal there. Just a really good showing from the squad, and an amazing performance over 2 legs to get us to the Carabao Cup final. Now into the first league game for this episode, we're going up against Crewe Alexandra, and in the first half, Telford would give us a lead off of a cross. He would volley this one home. Really simple finish. Just placed it into the bottom right corner with the volley, but Crewe would come back in the second half. They're working around the box here. Murphy with the step overs to get past our 2 center backs, and he would tie it up at 1. Now in the 89th minute, off of a corner, Marsh is going to be whipping this one in. Obviously, we're going to be going for win. He gets up, he heads it down into the ground, and it bounces up into the net to put us up 2-1. We restore our advantage against Crewe, and we would be able to hold on to that lead. We end up beating Crewe Alexandra 2-1 with that Alex win goal in the 90th minute. And we get another 3 points in the league. Now we go to transfer deadline day, and during transfer deadline day, we had a couple of different offers. We had one there for Telford for 2.7. I rejected. Another one came in for Telford. This one 2.4. I'm going to reject all of these. He's in really good form right now, so he's getting a lot of offers. But obviously, we're not looking to let him go. He's the top scorer in the league. We get an offer here for Liam Shepherd, which is pretty interesting. I don't think we've gotten an offer for him before, and it's a pretty decent offer, £1.4 million. It's sort of around what he's worth from RB Salzburg, and I end up rejecting that one as well. That would end transfer deadline day. No moves made by us, and we don't sell anyone either. Now into this game against Portsmouth, it is the FA Cup replay from round 3, and nothing really happened in this game until the 75th minute where we come forward. Aziz would find Bennett, and Bennett finds the back of the net to put us up 1-0 on Portsmouth, and this was a tough game. They forced the replay, and then the replay was tough until we got that opening goal. Here, Jenkins, 5 minutes before the end of the match, he's able to put this one into the back of the net after he cuts back. The chop was able to give him some space, and he was able to finesse it into the bottom right corner. A really nice goal from Jenkins. He continues to score when he plays with the backup side or off the bench, and we would advance in the FA Cup. We scored 2 pretty late goals and beat Portsmouth 2-0. Now for our scouting reports for this month, out of England, not much. We have Joseph Williams, who has been there for a little while now. I decided to reject him. His potential range is just too small. Isaac Booth looks like he could be decent maybe, so we'll leave him there, see if his potential range narrows to something good. And out of Wales, we have a couple of prospects here. Adam Smith is going to get rejected, as well as Charlie Young, but Bryn Cox and Alan Rosser both look like they have decent potentials. They both have 70 to 94 potential, which is pretty good to see. Just taking care of Tom King right there. He wanted to talk to us real quick, and then I decided to go to the Youth Academy, show you guys what we're working with. And this is what the Youth Academy is looking like right now. I'm really not looking to call up anyone for the rest of the season. I want to keep all of them in here for the rest of the season. You can see Rosser here is a right back, and then we'll get down to Bryn Cox. He is a center defensive mid. Our best prospect looks to be Prosser, the cam, but also Lee Price, the left winger, looks like he is pretty good as well. I want to keep all of the prospects in the Youth Academy for this season. If I end up calling them up, it's likely that they'll lose potential because they won't play enough games. And at this point, we have a pretty good rotation of players, who we like to play, who plays with our backup side, and I can't loan anyone out anymore, so I'd rather just leave them all in there. At some point, one of them might force me to call them up. I'm expecting that, at least for some of the ones that are 17 or 18, to force a call up near the end of the season, but we'll see, and we'll deal with that when we get to it. For our next league game of this episode, we go up against Bristol Rovers, and we get things started within the first 10 minutes. Marsh coming forward here. He's going to find Telford over to Sheehan, and Sheehan's going to play it back. Eventually, it ends up with Bennett through on goal. He will strike this one into the back of the net to put us up 1-0, give us an early advantage over Bristol Rovers as we look to add more points to our season tally. Now, right before halftime here, Telford would play it into Marsh, and Marsh, with the absolute screamer from long range, he hits that one into the top right corner, does a little dance with the rest of the team that helped get the ball to him. And we'll take another look at this one. This is an incredible strike. You can see here, Telford lays it off to him. He has a lane, and he is able to put it top corner, pick that out of the net. You cannot get a better shot than this. That is unsavable into the top right corner. Incredible shot from Marsh. He doesn't score much, but when he does, it's usually a long range shot, and we end up winning that one. Now, after that game, we get our first scouting report from our five-star scout in Ireland, and he had some decent prospects in the first one. We have a couple here that I'm going to leave here. So I'm going to leave Luke Buckley here. I'm also going to leave Niall Callahan there, but I'm going to sign Aaron Haney and Alan Boyd. They both have really high potential ranges. They both look like they could be very good players, and we're going to go check them out in the youth academy here. You can see that Heaney is a center back / CDM. He has pretty good potential, 6 foot height. His physical stats are already pretty good. He has a lot of green physical stats when it comes to things like strength, stamina, jumping, aggression. So he looks to be pretty good, decent potential. We'll see what he ends up at. Already a 57 overall, which is pretty high. And then Alan Boyd is 54 overall as a CDM with 78 to 94 potential, which is a very high potential range to start out with. Very excited about him. He is, looks to be a player that could develop into something really, really good for us. Now into the last game for this episode, we are going to be facing off against Hull City, who are in 3rd place. And the first game we played against them, was pretty easy, pretty straightforward, but this game was a little bit tougher. We would get it started early though in the 5th minute, working it across the box, and Castellón would put it into the back of the net with a nice left-footed finesse shot. He started off really hot in the beginning of the season, sort of cooled down since, but it's nice to get him back on the score sheet as we go up 1-0 on Hull. Now in the second half, the 56th minute, they would come forward, playing a little bit around here, and Stengel ends up with the ball. He's going to finish that one to knot it up at 1. And 20 minutes later, Aziz gives the ball away here. Wynn gets caught out trying to play the man offsides, and he ends up giving away the penalty here. We'll take another look at this one. I think this one was a penalty. If we look at the replay, you can see that he ends up just knocking his right foot, but Townsend would be able to save this one. He pushes it away from goal, dives the right way, and that one would seal the game. That's how it would end, a 1-1 draw. No more chances in that. And after 33 games, you can see that we are up by 14 points on Barnsley, the 2nd place team, and 22 points on Hull City, the 3rd place team. So 13 games to go. We have a commanding lead in the league. I expect us to win the league at this point, but the real exciting thing is that next episode, we will be having the final for the Carabao Cup. Can we win our first piece of silverware? We've beaten 3 Premier League teams on the way to the Carabao Cup final. Can we be a 4th and win it? We'll have to see. That is going to be it for this episode of the Newport County Road to Glory Career Mode. If you guys did enjoy it, make sure to drop a like. Let me know what you think down below in the comments, and subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you guys soon for a new episode.